This is how I took a side hustle helping people make money online one-on-one and turned it into a full-fledged 8-figure business where I've now helped over 20,000 people make money online. Now your path may not look exactly like mine, but in hearing my story, you'll realize that A, it's possible, and B, I'm not that special. So I started my coaching business back in 2018 when I myself started making money online through e-commerce. And when I was doing this, I was actually documenting my journey on Instagram. The only people that followed me on Instagram at the time were people that I went to high school with and some friends that I met in college, even though I only went to college for half a semester. And they would hit me up and ask me what it was that I was doing to make money. I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't know that I was in the brisk of launching an 8-figure company. I didn't know that the e-learning space was worth billions of dollars. So they were just hitting me up and I was like, you know what? Link with me at this cafe and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I started helping all of my friends basically do everything from scratch, sell on Amazon, sell on Shopify, whatever it was that I was doing at the time. And they all started making money. Literally every single one of them started making money online. And I was documenting this as well. And it got to the point where I started getting so many DMs of people that I went to high school with asking me to teach them how to do this that I decided to start hosting free events in my area. So I started leveraging, shout out to Georgia Gwinnett College, I started leveraging their Georgia Gwinnett College's conference rooms, which is a small community college in Gwinnett County where I grew up, and I started hosting free events. Because I was like, you know what, even though I'm a dropout and I don't go to this school anymore, no one ever uses these rooms, so I'm gonna just go ahead and leverage them and start, I wasn't charging anything for these events, but I was like, I'm gonna just use them to host these events and teach people how to make money online. So I started doing that, and later down the line, I realized, you know what, it would be cool if I could make an extra 10K a month charging people $100 to teach them how to do this. Because at the time, I was just doing it solely for free. And I was also trading a lot of my time for no money, right? I was teaching people for free one-on-one. So I was like, you know what, let me actually record a program so I can teach people in a one-to-many fashion and not have to be on these one-on-one calls all the time. And that was the birth of Ecom Degree University in 2018. I recorded the whole thing on my MacBook webcam, and I was using QuickTime Player to screen record these videos, and I launched my program for $150. I was promoting it on IG, and I was making about $5,000 to $10,000 a month every single month promoting this program. Now, at the time, I didn't know, but I was what I would call right now a low-level creator. I was doing everything myself. I was editing my videos on IG, on YouTube. I was coming up with my own content ideas. I was talking to everyone in the DMs myself. And this is where a lot of creators get stuck because you're a one-man army, and odds are you aren't a really good educator and a really good editor and a really good funnel builder and a really good designer. Like, odds are you're not good at all those things. So if you ever want to scale past the 10K a month mark in the online coaching space, you have to realize that you have to set systems in place. So what I started doing is I started investing in myself, and I ended up going to this mastermind in Miami where I learned about webinars. And webinars really intrigued me because the guy that I was learning from at the time was making over 8 figures a year doing webinars in my same niche, the Amazon niche. And he was telling me how he was spending $10,000 a day in ads profitably, and how he was getting all these Amex points. He didn't have to pay for flights, he didn't have to pay for food, and all of these people were showing up to his webinar and buying his products. I started doing a bunch of research in this space. I recommend you read this book right here, One to Many by Jason Fladlien. This is the step-by-step book that taught me how to do a webinar, how to present, how to transition into the pitch, how to close, how to structure all my bonuses. And this is the best book out there when it comes to doing webinars. Jason Fladlien himself has done over $100 million with webinars, and he's actually the one that taught Russell Brunson, the creator of ClickFunnels, how to do webinars as well. So go ahead and get this book if you haven't already. I'll put the link in the description. So I read that whole book, and I read it like a textbook. So I read the intro chapter, made the intro to my webinar. I read the content chapter, made the content in my webinar. I read the transition, made the transition, and that's literally how I built my first webinar ever. And I remember doing my first webinar, I promoted it to my organic audience, and I made $12,000 in a day. The most money I had ever made in my life in one single day. That's when I knew that everything that I had been doing these past couple years promoting this course was the wrong way to go about it. Because if you haven't realized already, most people that follow you aren't gonna DM you immediately either. Usually it takes a customer about 6 months to buy from you if you're posting good content, valuable content that gets them curious enough to ask you about your own offer, right? Because most coaches, they just have their link in their bio and they just hope that people DM them. When you switch into using webinars, well, you can condense that 6-month buying cycle into really 2 hours. So I went from making 10K a month promoting my program on Instagram to making 100K a month literally within 3 months just by switching over to the webinar model. Because now, instead of me posting and hoping that people would DM me, I was posting content using the HSO and HVO framework, which if you don't know what that framework is, HSO stands for hook, story, offer. So I would have a scroll stopping hook. I would tell a story that would get my audience to resonate with me. And then I would have an offer at the end. And the offer would be, hey, if you want to learn more, I'm hosting a free training later this week. If you want to attend, just comment the word training down below and I'll send you the link. And using ManyChat, which ManyChat is just an automation tool that links to your Instagram that can automate you sending messages to the people that comment on your post. Using that tool, I would send everyone that would comment on my post a link to my webinar. And I still do this, by the way. When I was doing it that way, I was able to get hundreds to even thousands of people attending these webinars every single week. And because on this webinar, I'm talking about my story, I'm giving them tons of free value, and I'm just presenting the opportunity to work with me if they want to learn this information and get results even faster than doing it themselves, you're able to make a lot of sales because the average conversion rate of a webinar, if you do it the right way, is 10%. So put this into perspective. I would have 5,000 people in these webinars and I was converting 10% of the room, 500 people, and every single one of them was paying between $500 to $1,000 to get into my program. So you can see how quickly I was able to get to 6 figures a month, then later 7 figures a month, then my biggest month being $2.2 million in 1 month. My biggest webinar ever was $340,000 in 1 day. Now, if you're wondering if I was doing all of this organically, no, I was running paid ads, okay? And you're gonna run into a ceiling if you just try to scale organically as a creator, because eventually you're gonna milk your whole organic audience. And if you're not constantly gaining followers, if you're not constantly going viral to get new eyes on your stuff, you will reach a ceiling. But it doesn't have to be a grind. Paid ads are there so you can scale without having to post content every single day. And paid ads is what took my business to $2 million a month, because let me be honest with you, I'm not the best content creator. I'm not as good as a lot of you guys watching this video that are very creative, have amazing hooks, have amazing content styles. I'm not that good when it comes to that. But I was smart enough to know that if I have a good piece of organic content that's performing well, running ads to that piece of content, it's like pouring gasoline into the fire. It's just gonna make that content go even crazier. So if you're watching this and you have a video that's done better than your other videos on your page, you can literally just run ads to that video, add a call to action to the end of that video, whether it's to attend your next free training or whether it's to buy your course, but I highly recommend you push them to a free training first. That video will get you leads on autopilot every single day without you having to wake up every single day and come up with a new viral idea. I have an ad that you've probably seen because it's gotten over 100 million views where the hook was, hey, before you buy this, and I was holding a Fiji water. That was my hook. And then in that ad, I was talking about how I can teach people how to open up wholesale accounts with Fiji and resell their products on Amazon. That one video ran for 2 years and made me millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I say that so you can think about a video that you have on your page that could be making you millions of dollars right now, but you let it go viral once and then you just let it die. When in fact, you could have kept pouring gasoline into that winning piece of content by running paid traffic to it. It doesn't have to be a grind. You don't have to come up with bangers every single day to get leads for your business. And paid ads allows you to scale without having to grind for it. So now my business runs pretty much without me. We run paid ads. We spend anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 every single day to a webinar funnel where people opt into the funnel. They register for a free training where I teach them how to sell on Amazon. And after they register for the training, I give them a free trial of my software. So I'm also building MRR right there. And then when they attend the webinar, which you should shoot for at least a 20% show rate, and around like a 30% opt-in rate on your funnel. When they attend the webinar, we're converting around 10% of the people in the room. And as soon as they buy, the first step is to book a call with my sales team. So as soon as they buy, they get to a thank you page where I'm like, hey, congratulations for enrolling into Ecom Degree University. First step is to book a call down below with one of our advisors. So they book a call and then my sales team tells them about our higher ticket programs. And we actually give them a credit based on what they spent on the webinar. And right now we're seeing a 46% upgrade success rate. So if we have 10 buyers on the webinar, which I'm just using these numbers for an example, for simple numbers. If we have 10 buyers on the webinar, around 4 to 5 of them are converting immediately into high ticket on a $5,000 offer. And that's how I'm able to make money no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, and without posting content, because I have this funnel that's running without me because we're running paid ads to it, using content that organically did well. So I know by paying for more eyeballs to that content, it's gonna do well. Now, if you're watching this video and you're wondering, hey, Will, how can I get started with webinars? It's pretty simple. I actually helped my girlfriend do over $100,000 in less than 30 days. And I'm talking about $100,000 in profit, not revenue, using a simple 2-week launch framework, which I'm gonna break down right now. Literally all we did is we posted content using the Hook Story Offer Framework and the Hook Value Offer Framework, which again, they're both very similar. Just in this one, you're telling a story in the middle and then having a call to action. And in the other one, it's more of a tactical, actionable advice video where you're giving value and then you have a call to action at the end. The call to action in both of these content framework is gonna be to attend your free training. Now, if you don't know where to host your free training, you can use Zoom or you can use Webinar Jam. Really doesn't matter which one you use, but for my girlfriend, we used Webinar Jam. And for 2 weeks, she posted content every single day, pushing to this free training where she teaches women how to get into sales. And for 2 weeks, we pushed it. We got about 1,000 registrants, which isn't even a lot. Keep in mind, she has less than 10K followers on TikTok, less than 10K followers on Instagram. So this isn't a huge creator we're talking about here. We got about 1,000 registrants in that 2-week promotion. And then we got all of these girls to show up to the free training. Again, this can be on Zoom or Webinar Jam. We used Webinar Jam. Around 600 of the 1,000 girls showed up, which you can shoot for like a 20 to 30% show rate. She had a 60% show rate, which is really, really, really good. Not normal though. 600 people showed up and we just did a smooth presentation where she told them basically her life story, how she went from working a 9 to 5 to now being a successful person in sales that's made it well over 6 figures in sales. She then told them about the opportunity to learn with her and learn from her. And she just pitched her program at the end, which wasn't even out yet. Keep in mind, we didn't even have a course when we did this webinar. We told the girls that were on the training that, hey, if you want to learn more, we're actually going to be creating a program that's going to be dripped out 1 video a week for the next several weeks. And if you want to be a part of that and you want to be able to watch these trainings live and be able to ask questions at the end, here is the pre-order price basically. And the price tag was around $297. We did $30,000 in that first webinar and we rinsed and repeated it week after week after week and ended the month at $105,000 in profit. And before she was doing this webinar every week, she wasn't making any money. And it's because a lot of creators expect leads to purchase from them without getting to know, like, and trust them first. Once you start doing webinars, you'll quickly see that there are a bunch of people on the fence right now that follow you, that want to buy from you, but you haven't put them in a buying mode. You haven't put them in a presentation mode where they're able to get to know you and then trust you enough to make that purchase. These people want to buy from you, but they're not going to buy from you just from you posting a 10-second reel and then telling them to DM you. You have to do a 2-hour presentation on a webinar to get them comfortable enough to spend $1,000 with you or $500 with you, whatever the price of your program is. And this model has worked time after time after time. It worked for my girlfriend. It worked for my friend David Omari, who I took from $100,000 a month to $1 million a month. And he sells a YouTube automation course. It worked for Carter Cofield, who helped go from $100K a month to $1.1 million a month, teaching people how to save more money on taxes. Worked for Dion Coopwood, who's in the credit repair business. He went from $100K a month to then $500K a month to then we implemented software into his business that he created. And now his software is doing $200K a month alone, and he's doing $1 million a month with his courses. So this is a winning formula that consistently wins for my clients, and I know for a fact that it can win for you. If you're watching this and you want help implementing this into your business, highly encourage you to click the link down below in my description, because I myself am hosting a free training where I'm going to show you the principles in the framework that you can use right now to go and have a 6-figure launch in the next 30 days. And while you're watching that free training, you'll start to understand how to present, because I'm literally going to do a webinar on you, and more than likely you're going to buy the product at the end, because if you don't, then you're going to miss out on $1 million a month. So go ahead, click the link in the description, register for that training so I can teach you how to start making more money with your coaching courses or whatever your offer is. Hope you like this video.